Hey guys, I'm out in the rain, and so I stepped into a little alcove for a respite. And I had an interesting thought as I was texting while walking. First was don't text while walking because I almost got hit. But secondly, it was the fact that on this, like the last rainy, dark day like this, it was like the eclipse. It reminded me of the eclipse. And I remembered how they would say in a bunch of news articles that like, America will lose 300 or 400 million dollars of productivity. $400 million of time will be lost in productivity because people will be going outside for the eclipse. And I thought that was a really weird metric. How can you say dollars of productivity? Well, that's what the GDP is, right? They measure the gross domestic product, which is based on productivity of a nation. And that was really interesting because the same week I had an intern who was helping us categorize sales data, like fill out spreadsheets, Google search for people who might be willing to buy bulk orders or wholesale orders of the Pavlok 1 and the Pavlok 2 wearables. And as he was going through it, like in one day he finished so little that I expected. So I watched him work the next morning, and he didn't know about a couple keyboard shortcuts, specifically Command L on the Mac or Control L while in a browser would take you right up to the hyperlink bar, and you could highlight it and select it and copy it. And he also didn't know about control tabbing in between tabs inside of a spreadsheet, inside of a Chrome browser. And so I showed him in just a few minutes how he could speed up his collection of data on Google by like 10x. So he searched for a keyword, then he clicked on each of the 10, so it opened up 10 new tabs. And then he went Control Tab, Control L, Control C to copy the URL. Then he went into the Command tilde, Control Alt Tab to the spreadsheet document and hit Control V. And in that like 1 or 2 minutes of training him, he sped up his work by at least 50x. Because at the end of the day, I had 50x more deliverables in that spreadsheet. And I thought about it and I was like, if you really believe that GDP is like based on worker productivity, the easiest way to improve GDP is not to get more people jobs or to improve technology or to bring back jobs from offshore nations. No, the best way would be to take everybody in the entire country and have like for one 30-minute session, myself or somebody else would teach them all the keyboard shortcuts that they need in order to speed up their workload, for people who work on an office computer. And I was so curious about it because there seems like there's such better ways to leverage technology to improve the metrics that we use, or at least governments use, to analyze economies. Does that make sense to you? So anyway, I don't know, it just feels really interesting because I feel like people are trying to use factors that are less efficient to manipulate metrics that are relevant to old, to the economics books when we were younger. But today we have technology, we can speed it up. If you're going to use that metric, there's better ways to improve the metric. Anyway, if this makes sense to you, let me know if this is interesting. I'm thinking about doing some videos like this where I talk about how I, as the CEO of Pavlok and the founder, think about the world, how I am trying to change the way that people do behaviors utilizing cryptocurrency and haptic feedback and aversion plus negative reinforcement, all that stuff. If this is interesting to you, just leave me a comment. Especially I look forward to the ones from the Shark Tank haters. You guys are my favorite. Please keep commenting your terribly mean death threats to me. I enjoy them. Okay, cool. Let me know if this is interesting. Otherwise, if it's not interesting, just like don't message back, and then I will stop doing them, and you'll forever lose your chance to hear stuff I might have said. So it's your fault. Love you.